Hello everybody, welcome back to the Cryptid Hour with Carlos Dela Cruz and my co-host Harry Nickel.
Here we have the most devious of devils and the most horrifying monsters you can experience. All
Yes.
in the Cryptid Hour.
It has a good ring to it, doesn't it? It's pretty good. It has a really, really good ring.
I should probably shut those windows in case the kids...
Yeah, shut
You
up.
can see them.
Yeah, shut up.
I want to punk all of them. I want to get all of them.
My co-host doesn't really mean to... Yeah, no, he absolutely does.
I will kill every child.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so starting off with our very first cryptid that we're going to talk about is Bigfoot. Possibly one of the most famous cryptid known to man, isn't it?
Well, I think that's just to the fact that that one picture of Bigfoot is that famous, isn't it?
Yeah, but like just the concept of a
Big ape man.
yeah, just a big unevolved like ape walking around in America.
Like, it's quite possible.
It seems plausible, doesn't it? It really seems plausible, but like what's it? It's usually sighted in the West, which is in America, and like there are many. Oh my god, have you seen TV shows about catching Bigfoot?
Catching Bigfoot.
Oh, they're so funny because like they put so much budget into it,
And then you never see him.
exactly, you never see it ever happening. It's just a bunch of crazy people with alleged claims.
Yeah, but unless you get ones like the Blair Witch, then sometimes it's good, or you
Oh,
just
yeah.
see a little face or something, then that's it.
Absolutely. How it's around 6 to 9 feet tall.
So just you average
Nice.
Western American.
6. Yeah. What other features does it have? Well, it's obviously named Bigfoot, so it has massive feet. Do you think Bigfoot has a foot fetish?
Maybe.
I would like to like. That's my headcanon right now. He has a foot fetish, and he looks down on other humans with like, take a look at their tiny feet compared to mine. It's gigantic. Close the door. Uh-oh. Sorry about that small little interval real quick. What were we talking about? Bigfoot. All right. What are your opinions on Bigfoot?
Well, I think he's just a big hairy man living his best life.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it is quite possible it could be real, just
Yeah.
an ape.
There is like a very good chance that it might be real. Like was it an unevolved ape-like creature walking on two legs, walking around America unseen? It can happen.
Yeah, certainly with like orangutans and big gorillas, they're
Absolutely.
smart enough.
Yeah.
Just
So
make them
ju-
smarter.
So just imagine them slightly smarter. Just imagine them.
Slightly smarter apes. It's like Planet of the Apes, isn't it?
Yeah. Or just humans.
The cryptids will take over this world, most likely.
Absolutely. I mean, what was it? I highly doubt that it is real. It probably.
He always tries to fucking embarrass.
Yeah, it starts absolutely. All right. My opinions on the Bigfoot. I do believe that it's not real. Obviously, it's not real. Can't exist.
Well, it most likely can.
It can, but like
It's just probably a lot.
all the evidence suggesting it.
It's played
It's played up to be some big thing when, in all honesty, it isn't real.
It's probably just a big ape having.
It's just a bunch of Americans coming up with some random hairy creature when it's really just a
When you can
homeless
just look
man
to
who
the
hasn't
south.
shaved. Just look to the south, yes.
And then obviously you have your like Himalayan cousins to your big feet.
Yes. Exactly. Today we're going to be joined by a host. Would you like to sniff on camera? No? Okay. It's a puppy. I'm
He's a
happy.
puppy,
It's not a cryptid. It's not a cryptid.
He could most likely be.
Can you shapeshift into a monster?
Yes, you can. You're best.
Oh god. Do you have any other cryptids off the top of your head?
Well, I can think of Nessie off the top of my head, linking back to that.
Oh boy, let's talk about
fate.
let's talk about Nessie later. Oh boy. What other ones are there?
I can think of the Mothman.
Oh, the Mothman. Let's talk about the Mothman. So, what is the Mothman?
Well, the Mothman is obviously a man who looks like a moth. He has like those big red beading eyes and massive wings, and he appears in times of disasters. Like when that bridge collapsed, he was pictured on the side of it.
I noticed a lot of things to do with cryptids. Is that it's just a whole bunch of like normal everyday animals mixed with a man. We have Bigfoot, which is an ape mixed with a man. We have the Frogman, which is just a frog and a man.
Course, the Ratman of Southend.
Oh, the Ratman of Southend. Let's talk about the Ratman of Southend.
Well, this little devious creature was a man who was homeless in Southend, but he got attacked by a bunch of children and sadly passed away.
Really?
Yes.
Oh god.
But apparently, he still walks around Southend or near the area he got killed in. There's even been a feature-length movie made about him.
Really? The Ratman?
Yeah.
I actually never heard about that before.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
And our good friend Evelyn Crisp has even seen the place and walked past where the Ratman was killed.
Wow. That is actually really interesting. Also, screw those kids.
Killing homeless
Bro, why would you want to kill homeless people? They're already screwed enough as is. You don't need to make their life even
just
worse.
Live your own life, fella. You don't need to kill, do you?
I mean, well, he can't live his own life now. He's dead.
He's a rat man.
Yeah, no,
he's
a rat
forever
man.
immortalised though.
He's immortalised as a cryptid of what was it, the UK Southend.
Would you like to be known after you killed? The only thing you're known for is being the Rat Man.
Honestly, that sounds like a really, really bad thing. We're back. The Rat Man. I always thought about the Ratman because, like, whenever someone says the Ratman, I always think of the Ratman from Portal 2, the game.
Oh yeah.
I gotta love that game. But this isn't about that Ratman. It's about this Ratman. So, are there any modern sightings of the Ratman?
I don't think there is. I think there is that one picture of him in the underpass of him looking ghostly.
Oh yeah, the ghostly image. I was researching that last night and yeah, the ghostly Ratman.
I think that is like underground picture of a cryptid though, because obviously you have your more famous ones, but that's still very striking.
It is, yeah.
I can ask you as my parents.
The ghostly presence of the Ratman, forever immortalized in Essex.
Essex Southend.
Essex Southend, represent. Yeah, probably is fake though.
It must like I think the myth of a man getting killed and him like stalking the streets, maybe
Yeah.
a bit real, but
It does sound like like a typical ghost story. A
But
man gets
Rat Man,
killed.
though.
His vengeance-filled soul now haunts the streets. It is very cliche.
it's not like the Goblin King, is it?
Oh god, the goblin. What is the Goblin King?
Well, the Goblin King is obviously the king of the goblins, and he has all these little nymphs and fairies and of the sort,
Oh
and
Jesus!
they just come steal children. Like, you know the changeling story?
I do not.
Little fairies kidnap kids, and then they take the place shapeshift, and when they grow up, they become big demons. But if you put a shoe horse on them, they turn into little monster babies.
A shoe horse.
Yeah, horseshoes, sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually wow. I've never heard about that story about the Goblin King before.
Oh yeah, changelings and Goblin King were featured in Hellboy with David Harbour.
Yeah.
But they didn't actually put the Goblin King in there for some reason.
Do you have any cryptids that you believe that can be real? I mean, the whole point of cryptids is that like, well, most of them are false, but they're claimed to be real. It's just the mystery behind it. It's like Scooby Doo.
I definitely think the Chupacabra could be real.
The Chupacabra.
Yeah. In Mexico, it's like dog demon.
A dog demon.
Yeah, like obviously, I think the most famous fictionalized movie version would be Scooby Doo in Mexico, because the big villain in that was the Chupacabra. But
Really?
it's more ape-like, but I still think you can have a dog-like, just vicious dog.
Oh god.
It's probably a Chihuahua, because they're always vicious little kids.
I mean, there are many Scooby-Doo movies about cryptids. Like, there was one about the Loch Ness Monster,
Yeah.
which is my personal favorite
That is a
Scooby-Doo
good
movie.
Scooby-Doo
It's a
movie.
very good Scooby-Doo movie. Speaking of Loch Ness, well, this has nothing to do with the Loch Ness Monster, is actually the Frogman. Now,
What's that about?
Alright, so the Frogman, basically, it all started when this couple was driving down the road and they stopped when they saw two gigantic humanoid frogs. Just imagine Greninja from Pokemon,
Oh,
but actually more frog-like. And the couple, right, they were standing there, well, not standing there, they were sitting in their car, like, afraid.
say a typical horror movie.
Yeah, obviously. And the frogmen, they saw them, and they were, the frogmen, they were interacting with each other. And they saw the couple in their car, and they pulled out sticks that looked like ones that shot sparkles out of them.
Oh,
The couple got scared and drove away.
so they're magical frogmen.
They're Harry Potter frogs.
They're Hogwarts frogmen.
Frogwarts.
That's a good one.
Oh god. That was a very weird noise.
Did that record? You say it.
Yes, it did.
Oh, we can get that song.
Oh god. I just want to say the Frogman,
Yes.
or that story of like the first case of the Frogman, it's very, very stupid.
Yeah, it does sound a little bit.
It sounds far fetched, like humanoid frogs. That sounds like
It's always animals and humans.
it is
isn't
always animals. Like you don't. I'm kidding. Yeah, for you, because you're big as well. You're massive. You're like a gentle giant.
No, I don't think he's that big of a dog. No. Everyone thinks he's a big dog. Yo, mama.
I'm gonna
Hello.
I'm gonna cut that bit out. Was it?
Just stroke him. He wants strokes. That's all he wants.
You want strokes?
He
get
just wants to
strokes.
be stroked.
Hello, you get strokes. Your breath smells like meat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, leave him alone. He's just. Look, do you think he's a big dog?
Oh god.
Oh yeah. He did that just to piss you off.
Yeah.
Mm.
If you guys didn't know what just happened, Harry's dog just came onto the set and absolutely destroyed the entire thing, like the lights, the microphones, everything. Now we only have one mic and a laptop.
Oh, that'll still work. So.
What was I saying before? Oh yeah, Frogman story. That origin story, it sucks so much.
Like, we can make a better origin
Yeah, we
story.
can make a better one.
Like Worm Man.
They're okay. We'll talk about Worm Man in a bit.
We'll
Oh
talk
boy.
about the Worm Man.
Because I have the second story I have. It also includes the Frogman. This woman was walking in the woods in a hiking trip, She comes across a small pond. She gets grabbed by the leg and starts getting dragged underwater, drowned style. And she broke free, thank God. And there were scars on her leg and a green. I just sneezed.
That's the frogman curse.
It's the frogman curse. I just sneezed. They just bounce up and
I
down.
love it when she walks. You just hear her patter.
Yeah. The frogman, they apparently it was a false claim and it was only like green marks from the grass.
Oh.
But no one knows how or what dragged her down. Which
It
leads
might have been like slippery slope.
it might be, but like there was something grabbing her leg and there were scars. That is my ass. Do not grab that. All right.
She just wants a little hug, don't you?
Yes. I just want to say the first story. Why didn't the couple run them over?
You never hear about that.
You-
Like they
you
say,
never- you never
I
hear-
was paralysed in fear. Car. They're outside.
Listen, if
Run 'em
I
over.
was driving a car, I would have rammed those two freaking frogmen like it was Mario Kart.
Like, you know,
all right?
Jeepers Creepers, like, obviously the whole plot of it is man with hook on road.
Yeah.
Run him over.
Exactly. Just run them over. It's so simple. It's so simple that it's like really, really easy. Oh my god.
That's horror movies for you.
Yeah,
I
just
suppose.
run the frogmen over, donate it to a school, and then they could do a gigantic frog dissection experiment.
That could actually be quite interesting.
That would be fun, actually.
Hmm.
Oh god, why didn't they run? Man, people ruin everything.
They do.
People ruin everything. It's done. And apparently those frogs were a part of Frogwarts.
Frogwarts.
It's a funny
The
meme.
most devious of all the creatures go to Frogwarts.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying about the worm? The
Oh,
worm man?
Well, the worm men are
Worm men?
They are worshippers of a giant worm-like creature in Mexico.
Oh, Mexico again.
Yes,
Oh boy.
it's always Mexico. There was I believe it's a Scooby-Doo episode which also covered it.
Man, Scooby-Doo covers all the cryptids.
They get in there.
They get deep into that
But
crap.
basically, it was just resurfacing, popping out. You know, like June, the big worm,
Yes.
is basically like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but obviously not as round and pointy, as more streamlined, so you
Yeah.
could borrow easier.
Oh,
And
God.
then he had cultists who dressed up like worms.
So basically, the worm man or worm men
Men.
were a cult,
Basically.
worshipping
Worm god.
A worm god, yeah.
Yeah.
How large was this worm?
I think he was about 50 to 70 feet.
Jeez, wait, huh? How long is that in kilometers? Or not kilometers, just feet. No, not feet, meters. I'm turning into an American.
That should be about, say...
20 meters?
Yeah, it should be about
That's like
20
20 meters. Oh, God.
20 meters.
That's a large worm.
That's a big one.
That's not a worm. That's a giant snake, my guy. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Well, my opinions on the worm, the big worm, we're gonna call it the god worm for now. I don't think it's real.
It's most likely not.
A lot of these cryptids, they're most likely falsified stories came up from crazy people.
They were most likely based on true fact, but they got like obviously. I think
True
one of
facts.
the most famous cryptids is the Kraken.
Oh, the Kraken. That's a cryptid? I thought it was real.
Oh no! So see, the thing is, it obviously back in the day, giant squids,
Yeah, giant squids
They-
existed. Even
and
bigger
then-
than giant squids
and
today.
then they had a Kraken wash up on shore. It was a giant squid.
Oh.
So they probably exaggerated it. So it is based on fact, but
Yeah.
obviously the big cryptid Kraken stories, they always scared the sailors.
Oh, right. So I
It
guess
is
like
based on fact.
I guess people just like sometimes the truth can be overlooked and be exaggerated all the time, you know. Because like giant squids back then, they are like they still exist. you
They
know?
are big.
And they're, it's most likely just like a prehistoric version of the modern
Oh, most
giant squid today.
Like we have
Most likely
seen it.
bigger, but like when it's depicted in like books or words, it's usually just like a giant. It's
Yeah,
like the
it's
size of
usually
a
big
pirate
tentacles
ship.
on the side. Big
Yeah. It's like a gigantic like squid when in reality it most likely is just the length of this room right here.
head.
I wouldn't say like the width of it. I'd say the width. The length, really?
Length.
You know what? I'd say
I
it's.
think so.
I'd say length.
Like, obviously, we have still yet to explore 98% of the ocean. So
Of
there
course,
most
yeah.
likely could be.
Ah. Don't lick me. I washed my clothing today. That is my ass. Do not touch my ass. Compared to me, that's a giant. I could ride that thing.
Oh no, when he jumps up, like, fully, he's taller than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Like, when he's rare, he's rough at the mouth. Because if anyone else, like, go hit me, and if you pretend to hit me, I go like,
Oh, they're smiling.
like, if we go like that and pretend to cry, he goes sit on me.
Really?
Yeah. Careful.
Oh, my ass.
He's fragile. Be careful.
Yeah, I'm fragile. I'm like glass. Wee.
He's gently look at It's good I can do my proposal tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can work on it.
To be honest though, the proposal isn't that bad.
No, they make it look like it's like, you know, the Matrix interview with him going through the file.
Yeah.
They made it sound like that.
Okay, I need to do work now.
Go.
Go. I need to go do work.
Go shit.
Yeah, go. No.
Not in here.
Not in here.
God, if he shits in here, Jesus Christ.
Go. No.
Leave him alone.
Bro, that's my leg.
Cougar, leave him alone. Yeah, I know you do. Right, go on. Go on, I'll get you some.
Go work.
I'll get you some water.
Go work. Go. Go. How has your dog made my ripped jeans more ripped? Wait a second, I don't even have ripped jeans. He just ripped my jeans. That's fine. Oh boy. Oh doy. Really? Oh yeah,
That
I did.
looks really
It
good,
looks
doesn't
good.
it?
Yeah, no.
It's like How to Train Your Dragon, but water.
Yeah.
You come join us down here.
When we can we talk about another popular, extremely popular, probably my favorite cryptid of all time?
Oh, yes, we can.
The Loch Ness
Oh,
monster.
Nessie.
Oh, Nessie. Good old
Big
Nessie.
Nessie.
Gotta love Nessie. Okay. Let me tell you why Nessie is my favorite cryptid of all time. It's mainly because, like, as a child, I heard about this rumor, and I was like, oh my god, it seems plausible. And like all the shows I watched on it, it validates that the Loch Ness monster could be real. But it most likely isn't. And I'm really sad about it, because I really, really want Nessie to be real.
It most likely could be real. It's just probably a more evolved form of a fish.
Yeah.
That just got, like, it must be like a type of whale.
It probably is. I mean,
And obviously in Loch Ness there are a bunch of those underground tunnels, and obviously
Yeah,
that
there
goes
are.
out.
into the sea.
And since it is a loch and it is more centred, they can just go out to sea.
Exactly, but like evidence does suggest that the rivers back then probably wasn't wide enough for the clothes just fell over. Ignore that. No.
No.
Okay.
He just wants his little hug. Imagine Millie saying all these lot. Hey,
Yeah. All right. Shall we continue?
give him a minute.
That's my mic. You hit my mic.
That's what he said. He doesn't like you.
Bro, that was instant. They wanted that.
He gave me what I want.
Bro, why is their fur like the same like type of hair on my head?
I don't know. Like that's all curly and nice, and you're
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah, how does that happen?
I think it's just his coat.
Yeah. Oh, you're a good dog, aren't
He
you?
is a good dog.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay, we need to get back to business.
Okay, cool, go. Go on. Go on. Yeah, I know. I love you.
Go, 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 go. Harry, come on. We can't be distracted by dogs. All right, back to business. Nessie.
Necessary.
Nessie, good old Nessie. Apparently, nope, that's me singing the Star Wars theme. All right. Apparently, the first ever what was it?
Sighting.
Yeah, the first sighting of it is it's depicted as a long-necked sea creature mixed with a sea turtle type body, but with no shell.
Oh yeah, so
It's like just imagine a Lapras from Pokemon.
obviously the most famous picture of Nessie is that one, but it was fake.
Yeah.
It was a bit of driftwood.
So, what was it? The famous sighting called the surgeon's photograph because the person who took it was actually a surgeon and a paleontologist.
Paleontologist.
Paleontologist. I do
Don't
not
like
know
English
how to
sometimes.
speak. I believe he is a paleontologist. It's named the surgeon's photograph, and it turned out to be false. Yeah, because apparently another person took the photo. He just zoomed in and claimed it as his own. And the person who took it, fun fact, he made another cryptid, which was also false.
What was that one? Good stuff.
I can't remember.
No.
I can't remember. It was very late at night, and I didn't have time to research it. Yeah, no.
Fair enough.
I really do want the Loch Ness monster to be real.
I think just all water-based cryptids and monsters are just
Yeah, water-based. Like, the thing about British people, we love our water-based cryptids, like the seamen.
Oh, the seamen.
The seahorsemen.
Seahorse?
I can't
You
remember
mean
what it's called.
merfolk?
Yeah, merfolk. Yeah.
Like in Harry Potter, little Grindylow, little bits.
Yeah, those. I don't think they are cryptids.
No, I think if it's in Harry Potter, it's most likely a cryptid.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Like, you know, the global phenomenon Genshin Impact?
Yes.
We have Osial, who's more based on demonology. However,
Yeah.
in the game, his wife, Bashette, is named after and is modelled after Irish cryptid Bashet Coney.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, tell us more about Bashet.
Well, Bashet Coney was a bit like a Leviathan and a sea serpent.
Oh,
Obviously,
right.
that's why they based it off of.
Mm.
And then, obviously, they chose the name Bashet because it's based off of like a sea serpent type creature.
Oh,
And
right.
obviously, it's water and all of that. So they just based it off, and she's just our equivalent of, say, Norway's Jormungandr.
Yeah. Man, I love cryptids. What classifies as a cryptid? Like what classifies as a cryptid?
I think it might be a monster that's either based on a bit of fact and a bit of myth, but the actual definition escapes me.
That is pretty interesting. Does that mean unicorns can be cryptids?
They could. Well, going off of DC Legends of Tomorrow, unicorns are vicious little creatures.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
They are not the angels that we
No.
think
Have you
they
seen Gravity Falls?
are. Oh god, absolutely.
Unicorns in Gravity Falls are pedantic.
Have you seen unicorns in regular show?
Unicorns in a regular show.
Oh god. Yeah, no.
God, cryptids do cover a lot of ground in media, don't they?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of media is based on cryptids because most things are based on monsters or just fiction stuff. Like books, most of them are fiction and based on superstitious or fictional monsters.
Yes.
TV shows, movies, and a lot of stories are revolving around that kind of genre or that kind of fiction, you know?
Like the Disney film Atlantis: The Lost Empire, which is a fan favourite of mine.
Of course.
The so-called Kraken was a big mechanical robot. built by the Atlantis Empire.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't more squid, it was more lobster.
Gigantic lobster.
But I can see how that influences all different types of media.
Oh,
Whether
yeah.
it not technically be classified as a cryptid, more monster-ish but still having cryptid features, or more cryptid-like creatures like the laughing skulls of England.
Yeah, exactly. What other cryptids do we have on our list? I have one on my cheat sheet called Hairy Hands.
Oh, pray tell, good sir.
Alright, so I found this last night, and I think it's probably one of my most favorite ones because of how stupid it is. Oh god.
I am a hairy hand.
Hairy
I am Harry Hands.
Harry.
Harry
Alright.
Hairy Hands.
Okay, so Hairy Hands, alright. It's based off the UK, and basically it works like this. So in the upper regions of the UK around Scotland, it's very foggy. Now, I think the main reason why the UK has a home to some of the most popular cryptids is because of our weather, believe it or not.
Well, yeah,
because-
up the north, it's more closer to
Yeah.
Antarctica.
It's more like weathery. It's more foggy up there,
And
so
especially-
it's easier to like misinterpret certain things for monsters.
And
you
it
know?
is nearer upper Norway and Europe and all.
That is true.
Because they have all their folklore, such
Yeah.
as like cyclopses, grendels,
Oh boy.
and the sorts.
Oh boy. Yeah, no. So I do think that Scotland is probably one of the best places for cryptids because there's so much that could happen.
And
up
also
there.
we have Ness in Scotland.
Oh, of course, yeah. The one of the greatest cryptids of all time.
Obviously.
Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, the hairy hands. All right.
Hairy
So the hairy hands, basically, it works like this. So it's depicted as when you're driving out in the mist on a road, a pair of misty hands. They say hairy hands because of the mist. It looks like hair.
Oh, so
Right.
it's like wispy.
Yeah, like wispy hands. Like I don't know why they say hairy hands. To be honest.
Good point.
Yeah, no. On the 26th of August, a army officer, they were driving down the road and they found a dead body. Well, they found a large pair of hairy hands that killed a man early that year. Because that army officer was like scouting around looking for possible evidence or culprits that could lead them to his death. However, it turned out to be extremely hairy hands, which I don't think it is like physical hair that's shaped like hands.
It's probably just wispy.
It most likely, okay, my theory is it most likely is just kelp and the fog mixing together.
Most likely.
So the officer can be just misinterpreting it and his eyes playing tricks on him.
Or he could just be a loony.
Or it could be crazy, yeah. And
Or both. Could most likely.
crazy people do join the military and army, to be honest. Yeah, no. What's crazy is that it usually happens on the side of roads. Like this cryptid, it doesn't want to
It doesn't
Well,
just kill, it plans. It plans.
no, it kills whoever is driving on the road. They're like,
but
screw
if it
you,
goes
loser,
into a
and they push them
side-
off and kill them.
If it goes into a side road, then they plan it more than a main road.
Yeah, obviously.
But if they do it on the main road, that would cause more damage.
exactly.
And if it was a monster trying to hide away from preying eyes,
yeah.
then obviously you don't want to be killing on the main road, do you?
Yeah.
Because you get news coverage, it'd be so, the A127 shut, such as that.
Yeah, exactly. I do think that this cryptid probably isn't real, but what the stories behind it just seems that it's like it's a pretty interesting to think about. It's a very like cryptids in general. They're interesting to think about because they're depictions of people's minds saying that
They
this happened
interpret
to
it
me.
different ways.
Yeah,
Because I remember another story like the story you just told me about Hairy Hands, but it wasn't called Hairy Hands.
oh, what's it called?
The name escapes me, but it was the exact same story as a spectral force taking over the wheel and then they couldn't control it.
Oh, there we go then. Most cryptids are linked together like that.
I think it's just different places, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in, say, I don't know, England, you have the Hounds of Bakersfield. Obviously, that's a Sherlock Holmes story.
Oh,
But obviously, there could just be a big, massive vicious dog,
Yeah.
such as like the chupacabra. So we have all different types of the same cryptid, just in different places.
Exactly.
So it's all up to interpretation.
It is very much up to other people's interpretation of it, because people in the UK, we have different views on, let's say, the Sasquatch, and then people in America. Let's talk about the Sasquatch. Oh boy, tell me what you know about the Sasquatch, because I know nothing.
All I know about Sasquatch is that he's basically your friendly cousin who you never see, and he's just like that. He's just a big, friendly, Bigfoot type creature.
Are the Sasquatch or Bigfoot the same thing?
I don't-
Most people call them the same thing.
I think they might be a little bit different, but that actual fact escapes me. I think they might be the same type of creature, and they just get
They
put
can be
together.
related.
They could be.
They could be related.
And obviously we have the Yeti, which is the Himalayan cousin.
Oh, the Yeti! Yes.
Like there could be very well gorillas in Asia, and
Yeah.
they just climb into the mountains, and then they migrated.
Yeah.
Like Arctic foxes and birds, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
know our squirrels.
Who's to say that gorillas can't do that?
Who's to say they can't?
Yeah, white gorillas or the Yeti. I actually do have a funny story about the Yeti when I was younger. When I was a kid, right, we were planning to go to Sweden, and that trip was cancelled for financial reasons, and we just simply couldn't go. So as a child, I used to draw a lot, and I drew a white gorilla, and I called it Mr. Fluffy Pants.
As you do.
Yeah, and then my teachers saw it, and they said, "Oh, do you know the monster, the myth about the
Yeti.
the Yeti? Yeah, the Yeti." And I'm like, "Mr. Fluffy Pants was real?"
He was real.
And she was like, "No, you dumb idiot!
You
No,
dumb small
you
child.
dumb
How
child!
dare
Of
you
course
have
not."
dreams. Obviously, I think the Yeti is just another form of the abominable snowman.
Of
isn't
course. Oh, the Yeti and the abominable
it?
snowman.
There's a lot of these things that you put together, but I think the abominable snowman might just be a very tall man.
It might be
Like he just might have all his winter clothing on, like hunters and tribesmen back in the day.
Yeah.
And he's just tall, and that got spread around. Because if it's a snowstorm and you're in the cave and you just see a big ominous hunchback man walk past, you don't think it's a big snowman?
No,
or Yeti, are you?
absolutely not. It is kind of weird to think about these types of cryptids, because most of them are very linked closely together, like the
Like, they're based on
Sasquatch and
real
Bigfoot,
things.
and the abominable snowman and the Yeti. Like
They're all interlinked.
they're all interlinked.
It's like a council of monsters that we just don't know about.
We're one part of big family, one messed up family.
One messed up, crazy family.
Oh boy, do you have any more cryptids to talk about?
Well, they're not precisely cryptids, but I think they fall into the cryptid space. That would be more mythology-based monsters.
Oh, let's take it here.
So obviously, one of my favourite things growing up, and now because of Percy Jackson and just living up with Greek mythology,
Of course.
is just all the creatures and monsters and myths based off of them.
Ah, right.
Because obviously some of them are a bit crazy, like the birth of the Minotaur, but we won't go into that.
Oh, the Minotaur.
But obviously I think there could... Like, there was a wrestler in, I believe, 1995 called Mantar. And it was a man...
Mantar.
Yeah, and he just wore a massive bull head. So I think it might have been such like a gladiator.
I'm not sure that's a cryptid.
Obviously, that's the
It can't
Mantar is not a cryptid.
Yeah.
But maybe, obviously, I think it's just all up into interpretation. Like they might have wore a bull head to like appear aggro, and they were a gladiator trapped in the labyrinth.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
obviously, it is more mythological based because those things most likely did happen, just with a bit of difference.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't want to smite Zeus or anything, but there you go.
Yeah, man. Oh boy, cryptids are fun to talk about, right?
Cryptids are very fun.
Because it's just a lot of people come up with this kind of stuff, and oh boy, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
It's funny, but it's also
It's
interesting.
very intriguing.
It is very intriguing, isn't it?
Like the Green Children, if I believe Norwich, I
Yeah.
believe. It's just some green children.
Some green children?
People thought they were aliens, but I believe the actual story behind it is that of them being exposed to algae type things in their town.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But obviously that got turned into a cryptid story, The Green Children of Norwich.
Oh yeah. This is definitely very awesome. I'm looking on Google right now and I typed in cryptids. There are many, many, many things about cryptids. There's a movie.
Oh, there is most likely a cheesy 80s horror movie
There
called
is
Cryptids.
oh boy.
But obviously those are the best movies.
Yeah. Like this movie. Sorry.
Sorry everyone, there was just a little devious creature attacking us.
Yes.
He heard that we were speaking about him.
We were talking about cryptids and it decided to become one. I'm not sure when this movie came out. It came out in 2017.
Oh, so it's a better film than a cheesy 80s
Okay.
one. Oh, damn.
Alright, I want to say something about cryptids films. They get a lot of things wrong.
They really do.
They get a lot of things wrong, and I feel like that's a good thing. Because like cryptids, they're not meant to be like real things. They're supposed to be rumors that were made up by other people, and with movie makers making the film Cryptids, I think it's just putting their own twist on it while using the original source material.
Yeah, it's like interpretation. Like you see
Exactly.
different types of, the Kraken, like in Atlantis and other forms of media.
Oh yeah.
And then sometimes you see different forms of Greek myths or cryptids or chupacabras like
Yeah.
Bat and Hounds of Bakerfield.
I want to say a very funny thing about the Loch Ness monster.
Oh, yes.
Apparently there was this couple out on a boat in the middle of the loch, and they allegedly bumped into Nessie, and in their engines caught a piece of flesh and blood on the propeller and engine, and they were like, "Oh my god, we found Nessie! This is incredible!" But the crew who were taking care of the boat, they washed it off.
Oh, you poor souls.
They washed it off before they could realize what it was. Now, my idea is that are there seals living in the loch?
They most likely could be seals.
There most likely are seals in there.
Like,
'Cause,
dolphins are actually a type of whale. So it
Yeah.
most likely could just be either a big dolphin, since they do jump around in lochs,
Yeah.
or just a whale that got stuck and uses the underground tunnels.
Exactly. That may be the case with this. But I really find it unfortunate that like this couple, right, that they were just out on the boat, they run into
Like, what happens?
like they run into the like alleged Loch Ness monster. They were like, oh my god, we're gonna be famous for this.
And then just a little poop that.
And
Wiper
then the
just said,
freaking crew washed it off before they could even do anything about it. That is so unfortunate.
Oh, I remember. This is one of my personal favourite cryptid stories, which actually had a few old newspapers published at the time.
All right, let's hear it.
Spring Hill Jack.
The Spring Hill Jack. All right, this is going to be our final cryptid talk for today. So let's hear it, Harry.
So, Spring Hill Jack was around during Victorian times, around Jack the Ripper, about that time.
All right.
And obviously, this man, in the papers, they made it look like a man in a devil costume, but that was probably exaggerated a bit because it might have been just an animal that got like lost in the zoo or happened.
Right.
So, Spring Hill Jack used to jump around like, building tops and rooftops and
Yeah.
like pick up children and women and just eat them.
Well, so they would just kidnap them, eat them.
Yeah, so Spring Hill Jack jump on a roof, jump down,
Oh,
jump up, and then devour them.
oh, so it's just the reverse Santa. He
Basically.
he jumps up on roofs, right?
Yes.
Grabs people,
Jumps down
down,
and then grabs them and runs
and
off
eats
and
them.
does
Oh God.
that. Or it could just be most likely, again, interpretation. They just saw an animal, or it might have been a man in an actual devil costume.
Who knows? It probably okay. My idea for this is that it was just one family. It was really dark at night. Probably Christmas at that point.
No, I don't. I think it was around August.
Around August. Oh boy, they really like Christmas.
Oh,
No, I'm
they-
joking. All right. They were probably like sleeping, and someone heard a noise downstairs. Did they fall down the chimney?
No, this was actually happening in the streets, and it was
The
multiple
streets.
accounts actually.
Oh boy.
So
It most likely is just an animal climbing the roofs. And just climbing, just accidentally fell off, landed on people's heads, and they
there
over
have been eye
exaggerated.
account witnesses of this mysterious thing, just kidnapping kids and women. But sometimes he actually didn't murder and devour them; he just left them injured.
Oh god. It might be just like a normal kidnapper.
Maybe.
Sorry,
maybe.
wait, a normal
Might
kidnapper.
be a chimney sweep turned vigilante.
A chimney sweeper turned vigilante.
But again, it's all interpretation.
It's
and
all cryptids.
It's
and
just spreading hysteria of around cryptids, all like big scary man who jump you in the night. Because I
Exactly.
think most of them have started off with children's stories of like, if you don't go to bed, Spoon Hill Jack will steal you out your windows.
Yeah,
But obviously, they have to be based on something, so that story had to come from somewhere.
of course.
So it's all interpretation.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening and tuning in to the Cryptid Hour. I'm Carlos Dela Cruz.
And I am Harry Nickel.
Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the very next Cryptid Hour.